Two big wins, and then you guys ran Pakistan pretty close, gave them a real scare. Afghanistan has impressed, and how? Now they run into India, a team that is bruised, battered, and probably at their lowest. To discuss the India Afghanistan match, we have with us the Afghanistan head coach himself. We have Lance Klusener joining us on India.com and Cricket Country. Welcome to the show, Lance.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate that. Thank you.
We also have with us Sajal Patra, who's a senior journalist with Cricket Country. Welcome to the show,
Thank you.
Sajal.
Thank you, Ankit.
Right. So, Lance, I'll start with you. This probably looks your best chance of beating India, right? They are at their lowest. They have won. They have lost two games, and how? They are humiliated. They are battered. They are at their lowest. You think Afghanistan has got a good shot of winning against India?
Yeah, definitely. We've got a good chance against beating any team on
I think we have a bit of
Right,
audio
right,
issue over
right.
here.
So, as you could hear, Sajal, yeah, we've got Lance
I
back
think we have,
on.
yeah.
Lance,
Yeah.
please continue.
As I said, we can beat any team on any given day. However, I just feel India going to
There is some technical problems that Lance is
be.
facing over here. Lance, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
Right, Lance, please continue.
Yeah, we're looking forward to. I think we just, in general, we're just looking forward to that game. India will be extremely dangerous because they'll want to make good.
Right. I think we are having these technical problems that Lance is facing. He was saying that yes, Afghanistan, they are one team that they can beat anybody in this tournament, and they look pretty confident
Uh,
ahead of the India game. Right,
we
Lance,
have
please
Lance
continue.
back.
Please continue, Lance.
Yeah,
Okay,
Okay,
so
I
he
guess
is having
I guess
a problem. We
we're
can
having a
surely
hard time with the
understand that,
internet.
but Lance seems pretty happy, Sajal, with the performance of the Afghanistan team thus far in the tournament.
Right, Afghanistan has been. I think they have been a very good T20 side for pretty long now. I think it's just not that the World Cup. They have been playing very good cricket in the past couple of years, and they're a dangerous side. And I just get the feeling that they have the side to actually if they beat New Zealand, I think Afghanistan is going to qualify for the semi-finals. They're very very close. So it's one good game, and you might see Afghanistan qualifying from this group. Because India right now, I don't think they have much of a chance. I mean, technically, yes, they do have a chance, but with that net run rate and Afghanistan beating New Zealand and all that, it's difficult for India to qualify. But Afghanistan have a very very good chance. And I think whole of subcontinent will be rooting for Afghanistan, Lance.
yeah. Come on.
Afghanistan,
Yeah.
how confident are you against India? They are a team that are bruised. They are wounded. They would like to bounce back. So I'm sure you have taken all these things into account. How are you planning for the game against India?
Yeah. To be honest, we're actually not really thinking too much about India. We're just thinking about ourselves. Um, we've been really just focusing on what we can do, and our own plans, I guess. It's intimidating to think too much about the opposition with there being such big quality teams. So our focus is really just on ourselves, and if we can do a few of our basic, if we can just do our basic game plan, right, I think we'll have a good a chance as anybody else out there.
Right,
Right.
right, right.
So just before the World Cup, I think Rashid Khan resigned from the captaincy. But Mohammad Nabi has been absolutely brilliant in the tournament. I think the match against Pakistan as well, when the Afghanistans were in a spot of bother. Actually, they lost 6 wickets and there was not too much on the board. But I think the character that they showed was brilliant. So Lance, coming to you. I mean, a couple of things about Mohammad Nabi. I mean, what's his plan and how does he lead the side? If you can tell our audience.
I think
Right.
he's been excellent, and obviously with him batting well, it helps the team a lot. So he's worked extremely hard on his batting. That's great, and he's taken the responsibility with the new ball as well. So that for us has been a huge help. And he's a senior player, so the way I run a team is that it's all inclusive, especially with the senior players. So he's been part of that game planning and senior management group. So it really is quite a flawless transition. Really, is that really any one of those senior players can step in and do the job.
Right.
Right. We already have a fan question. Can we take that quickly? This is Sunny. He has a question. Yeah, right. What would be Afghanistan's plan against India? Any specific plans, Lance? You want to, spill beans on? Come on.
Yeah, I'm sure
Any
Ravi
specific
Shastri is
plans against
watching
Rohit or
this.
Virat?
I'm sure Ravi Shastri and Rohit are watching this, so I don't want to spill too many beans. But no, we've just decided we've just got a very simple game plan, really, and we might just modify that from game to game. But as I said earlier, and I'll continue to stress, we just want to focus on ourselves and what we want to do. And on the day, if the opposition plays better than us, then that's just unfortunate. But we've found that our game plan is pretty solid, and you won't really see anything too much different from whether we play Namibia or whether we play India. It's all about ourselves and how we can just really just be our best on the day. We need to also understand that we're relatively a smaller team compared to those big nations out there. So our focus is just on ourselves and making sure that we, as much as possible, put a smile on our supporters back home.
I'm sure you're already doing that, Lance. Well, Lance, I would like to ask you, Asghar Afghan, he has just, hung up his boots. You have watched him from close quarters. You want to come up with a reaction on him, his growth, Afghan as a player, as a person,
Yeah,
maybe.
I think we need to look a bit further back than that, and what he's done to get the team to where it is today. We need to look back 10 years ago, really, where
True, true, absolutely true.
where he's been involved, and I think that's the picture of Asghar Afghan and what he's done for the team over a long period to get them to where they are. It's easy to just take a snapshot and look at the last 6 months or whatever it is, but his influence and his role in Afghanistan cricket really is a 10-year period where he's been part of getting the team to where it is today. So I think for me, that's the legacy of Asghar. You can look at his stats and say, okay, well, they're pretty ordinary, but that's not what Asghar is about. He's been a fantastic leader for this Afghan team, for the Afghan nation, for a very long time, and that needs to be his legacy. Is him getting the team. Gee, who would have ever thought Afghanistan would have a half decent chance of qualifying for a World T20? It was only 10 years ago, I think, when they even just made it to the competition. So that's his legacy, really.
Okay, Lance, in the coming back to the match against Pakistan, there was a time when Afghanistan, they had lost 6 big wickets, and I mean, there's obviously history behind the Afghanistan-Pakistan match. My question is, when they lost those 6 big wickets and with hardly anything on the board, did they still have that belief that they're going to compete? And a word or two about Gulbuddin Naik for the knock that he played. I think that pretty much gave them an outside chance of winning that match.
Yeah, we pride ourselves on batting deep, and that's something that we're very proud of, and we're lucky to have batsmen right down to Rashid there at number 9. So that's something that we take very seriously. We're a team that don't rely on one or two batsmen. We talk about our collective group making sure that we get to the score that we need to get to. It's not just about certain players. It's just about everybody getting their hands dirty and scrapping and making sure that we get to a total, that either we're setting or, get over the line. It's going to take every one of us, So that's the way we look at our batting.
So did they have that belief in the dressing room after losing those 6 wickets that we still have it in us to actually compete with strong Pakistan unit?
Yeah, of course. I mean, that belief is there, and the beauty is that everybody believes and trusts that if it's not my day today, the person behind me will get the job done. And that's, as I said, that's kind of what we do as a batting unit, is that we just want to fight and stay in that fight for as long as possible, and just get contributions from each and every batsman, whether you're number one or number 10. It's just about getting there, getting involved, and just doing the best you can.
Right. Okay, I think we have lost his audio. Ankit, your audio is a bit of an issue over here.
Lance. I'm not
Yes, we
going to
can hear
ask
you.
you what you're going to do once you win the toss, because that's like no prizes for guessing that one, right? So don't you think it's a little unfair, with the toss making all the difference, because of the pitches in the UAE? What do you have to say
So
about that? Because
this,
it's
this,
better you have the toss and then you decide the winner. No need to play.
so
What do you
this
have
one
to
is
say about that?
this one is in Abu Dhabi, not in
Yeah,
Dubai,
right, Abu
Ankit.
Dhabi. This one is in Abu Dhabi. I'm talking about the nature of the tournament where the tosses are deciding the fate of the match. So, Lance, what is your take on that?
Um, we don't look at it that way. We haven't. We've played. When we've played, we haven't had a problem with the dew. And even if we did have a problem with the dew, it wouldn't be an excuse that we were looking to make. I think, as I said, we play a certain way, and that's just all we care about. And we understand that, if we have to bowl second, if dew is a problem, then that's just what we have to deal with. We've dealt with that in the nets, where we bowl with wet balls in the nets. We just put them in a bucket of water and let the spinners bowl. So we've prepared for that, and if we have to deal with that, as I said, it's not really going to be an excuse we make. It's part of the game. It's nothing we can do, and it's out of our control, really. If we have to deal with dew, but we've practiced with that in the nets, and if we have to bowl second and it's very dewy, then we're going to have to deal with those conditions as well, and we've spoken about that as well.
So right now, I think the equation is very simple for Afghanistan. I think if they win any of the two matches, which are two very big matches coming up for Afghanistan, one against India and the other one against New Zealand, and if they win any one of those, I think they will pretty much seal the last four slot. So do you think because now it's a different ball game, the pressure would be a little bit more than what it was in the previous matches, because now you are playing for a semi-final spot. So do you think that Afghanistan can handle that pressure, given the fact that now they know that they can actually make it to a semi-finals?
Yeah, look, I mean, I think the pressure is there, whether you're playing, Namibia or India. You don't want to stumble against a team that maybe you would like to think you've ticked the points off. So, even though they're, with respect, lesser nations, the pressure is very much there. You can't afford not to get over the line in those games. So yes. However, let's not forget that a team like India, a team like New Zealand, these are giants of world cricket, and they show up on any given day. They're extremely difficult to beat. So, as I said, if all we want to do is we want to just get to every game and just ask those big teams to make sure that they're bringing their A game on that day. Because if they're not, then we're going to be extremely competitive.
Right.
Right. We have a question. Can we quickly have that on screen? This is Sani again. Who would be the favorite pick among both the sides? One player who could, be the match winner on the day.
It's a difficult one. But I mean, you always got to look at our spinners. That's our strength, and I'm sure if they're doing a good job in taking wickets and controlling the run rate, that allows all our other bowlers to come into the game. So, bowling is our strength. So, without choosing anybody, I'd say, if our spinners can, put the pressure on and maybe get us a few wickets, we've always got a fighting chance.
Right, Lance. See, Lance, Afghanistan, they have been really impressive in this tournament. How is the reaction back home? Like, have you been in touch with the authorities? How has their response been? I just want to get an
Yeah,
insight to that.
Yeah, I think everybody back home has been, excited, and we talk about a lot about, just putting the smiles back on faces back home. We're aware of, the children that, want to grow up and, become a Muhammad Nabi or a Naveenul Haq or whatever it is. And we talk about that, and we talk about just making sure that on any given day, whether we win or whether we lose, we're putting in a strong performance there that will make people, our supporters back home, proud, as well as winning over the hearts of other people in the world as well. In that, we want to play a style of cricket that's entertaining, that's exciting, and I think we need to play that way to be competitive against the very big sides out there.
Lance, in the other group, South Africa, I think have been absolutely brilliant in the last couple of matches, and especially in the match against Sri Lanka, which they went on to win. So, what do you reckon about South Africa's chances in actually going on till the end of the tournament? Do you think they have a pretty good side to actually win the tournament?
I think I think that for them to just get out of the group is going to be a good effort. I see them probably being a little bit too strong for Bangladesh, but I think for them to get through, they're probably going to have to win their next two games.
Right.
And so yeah, I think as a South African supporter, we'll be hoping for that. I thought they've played well in the last two games. But in saying that, they got out of jail against Sri Lanka. So did they play well? I'm not sure. They got out of jail with Miller hitting two sixes. So I think they'll be looking at that to play a little bit better. I think their batting is okay. Their bowling is obviously their strong point. But if they can consistently, I think as a chasing unit, become a little bit better, then there's no reason why they can't get out of the group stage.
Right. So,
Right,
do you have any other
Lance, I just
questions,
wanted to
Ankit?
find out what is that one thing that still Afghanistan can improve on. I'm sure this tournament they have been flawless in many ways. What is still that one loophole you want them to plug in before the big matches?
Yeah, I think if we can get our batting right against good teams, little bit of a shaky start in the Pakistan game, but if we can get our batting a little bit more consistent, which we're working on, that'll be good for us. But we're a team about making sure that everybody just tries to contribute in some sort of way. 11 people contributing always makes a team very difficult to beat. So our focus is on just making sure that everybody's in the game. If you get that opportunity to make a difference, or
Lance, what would be a par score at Abu Dhabi according to you?
probably 150, 150, 160, I guess. Um, we played yesterday. The wicket was quite difficult batting first. It just seemed a little bit slow and a little bit sticky. But I think our next two games there are night games, so that might be a little bit different. But I
How big
think,
a factor is due going to be, Lance? How big a factor is
uh,
due going to be, Lance?
yeah, I think there will be some due. It's not something we're too worried about, to be honest. We whether we bat first or whether we bowl first against India or New Zealand, we just need to be on the top of our games. So it doesn't really matter what we do. We just need to deal with the conditions. We don't make excuses. And we just try and get the job done. We're just focusing again, and you've heard it probably in every answer. We're just worried about ourselves. We're not worried about anybody else.
Digressing a little bit away from the World Cup, Lance, in terms of teams like Namibia, Scotland, Ireland, and also probably Afghanistan. to that matter. We only get to see them during the World Cup. Do you think that's the way ahead? Because if bigger countries like India, Pakistan, or for example Australia and England, they don't play Afghanistan regularly, you don't expect Afghanistan to actually become a very strong unit, because obviously you need to play against great sides, good sides, to be or to improve your game. So what do you reckon ICC should do in terms of how to bring smaller nations up?
Yeah, it's an excellent point, and we're always crying out to play against the better teams, because that'll allow us to grow even faster. I think what's happened is, and I'm not 100% certain exactly how it works, but the fixtures are planned obviously a couple of years in advance. So we've probably been our own worst enemy in that our growth and our climb up the international ladder has been faster than, I guess, predicted by the RCC. So kind of gave
Right.
us, as you said, with respect, those Scotlands and Zimbabwe's, which we play a lot. So we're hoping that in the next cycle of fixtures that we'll get to play more, against those bigger nations where, yes, it'll be a lot tougher for us, but I think our learning will be a lot better as well.
In terms of the infrastructure in Afghanistan, since you have been there, because Afghanistan, they play their fixtures, most of the fixtures in India, I think. What do you reckon? What is the domestic structure like in Afghanistan, and how are they improving?
Yeah, look, just to touch on that, Afghanistan don't play home games. Every game's an away game,
Right,
even if the home series played in India
right,
or in the UAE. So the logistics with that and creating, especially nowadays, bio bubbles and all that, not even in your own country, is enormous. And what the boys have achieved playing every game as an away game is absolutely mind blowing, really. So that's one thing. And then yes, domestic cricket back home. There's a big push to get it on track and to get it as regular as possible. But I think you guys as well as me have known that there's been some challenges over the last couple of months, I suppose, as well. So let's give that time to settle down and to uh, and for things to work themselves out. But there's a big push on domestic cricket back home, and to make sure that our selection base, I guess, for the national team continues to grow.
right. Do we
Thank
have
you,
any other
Lance, for
fan questions,
speaking
Ankit?
to us on this session and also previewing the India versus Afghanistan match that is happening in the next couple of days, and also giving us an insight about Afghanistan cricket and the future of Afghanistan cricket and the fact that it is right on track right now. Thank you for speaking to us, Lance. Hope to
Thank
speaking with you soon. And Sajal, thank you for joining us in this session. Guys, please,
Thank you.
please, please stay hooked to India.com and Cricket Country for all the latest on the T20 World Cup. Thank you.